Happy Showcase Sunday, everybody. And this week's amazing Showcase Sunday is coming from Chris Wilcox from Lightbulb Web Design Limited. Now, Chris is going to introduce himself now. So, Chris, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell me who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Thank you, Alison. Good to meet you this morning. My name's Chris. I run Lightbulb Web Design, which was launched back in 2014. And I guess everybody who does web design just says, oh, we do web design. I like to think we do that, but with a bit of a difference of approach to a lot of others. I guess we're what you would call a virtual agency. So I purposely built a lot of relationships up in many years with a lot of other local businesses who complement what I do, be that graphic design, search engine optimization, pay-per-click, anything that relates to what we do, which means I can pull in the right people for the right project to fit that project exactly what it needs. Whereas I'm not limited by my staff that I employ. I can literally work with anybody that fits to the project. Why do I do it? I do it because I love the results for the clients. Really, the first site that I did was a freebie in essence before I really launched the business for a garden designer. And the business he got from the website changed his own business, and that was inspiration that I got to say, hang on a minute, maybe I've got something I can actually take out there and do properly for everybody else as well. So that's where it started from, and it's still going 8 years later. So it's a great platform.
Wow. And web design is a skill in itself. I mean, there's all sorts of different platforms that people use. I had a client a few weeks ago who I think some family friend had actually made their website years ago, and then they had a big catastrophic issue when the website just sort of went all a mangled mess, and it was because the theme was out of date, even though it was all programmed, and they were having a problem. So obviously, you do website design. What else do you do? Is it with all systems, or is it what is it? What different platforms do you
We
use?
work on one platform. I purposely just chosen the one platform to work on and the one set of tools to go in with it, because I can support it better. I haven't got a massive difference of every client's got something different. They've all got the same back-end platforms to work on. And it's a platform called Joomla, which is certainly second popular to WordPress, but even then it doesn't have as much of a user base. But generally speaking, it's in my opinion a more secure platform, a faster platform, more comprehensive, and out of the box it offers a lot more tools to me than WordPress does. And I've used it for 20 years. Basically, I know it inside out, and so far it's served me well for every project that we've worked on, apart from one or two which have been something different, which is unusual.
Wow. So talking about something different, what makes you unique and different to everybody else out there? Because there's lots of different website design people and businesses, and I know you came highly recommended to me. So what makes you unique and different?
It's certainly the one element that I've focused on for the past year is our process. So I brought in something that I've named the SHINE method, which is a 5-step process that has been the basis of all of our projects for many years now, but has never formalized into a strategic approach. So we don't work from off-the-shelf templates. We don't just pop out and buy a £40 template from ThinkForest and say, there's your lovely website, how do you like it? Everything we do now is bespokely created for your customers, aimed at your customers, what they want to see, what they want to read, what they want to be able to do on your website, so that a lot of businesses write their websites for themselves and think, oh, that gives me what I need to read and what I need. And it's the wrong approach. It needs to be written for the visitor and the people you want to attract to buy from you. And I think the bespoke approach that we've got now, which can encompass everything from logo and branding design, all through to search engine work, copywriting, and always includes ongoing support, regardless of anything else within. The projects that we're putting out there now are completely written for the audience they should be, rather than guesswork and maybe a few highly technical terms thrown around that actually mean nothing to anybody. That approach, and what I mentioned before about the associate group, I'm not limited to just the employees or just myself. I've got experts around me that I've worked with for many years now who can literally do any element we've needed. Although I might have more than one designer to work with, they've all got their own little speciality in the type of the style they've got, or the type of projects and client type it might be. So I can match really easily now. They'll be great for that client. Oh no, that one over there, right? It's that person, and bring them together to get the best results out of that. So I'm not on my own, and unlike some of the people that I've got a business where they employ staff, I'm also not limited by just that part of it either. So it's quite a different approach to a lot of people locally.
I love that. I love that. And do you work just in Cumbria, or do you work all over the UK?
The majority of my clients are Cumbria based, but I've got them down in London, Scotland, Ireland. I've done a couple in Switzerland as well. So I've got a bit into a slight international twist there, but it's growing. I have changed in recent years. Of the client type that I get tends to be not just local now. I've certainly changed my own marketing approach as well to not just limit myself to people in the locality, although it is the majority of our still Carlisle Cumbria based.
Brilliant. And when you say you work bespoke, because it is about the ideal client avatar. I'm big on teaching that within every organisation I work with. And not many people actually understand what the customers want, the pains and gains. And I think, oh, gosh, if you don't actually speak to your customer, they're never going to find you. They're never going to see you because you're not speaking their language. For me, it's a no-brainer. But you do get companies out there who just go on about what they do and haven't got a clue how to connect the two together.
It's something. I've fallen foul of that myself. I would say it's only the past 18, 24 months that I've really focused on my ideal client type. And then a lot of businesses are invisible to their ideal client because they're not where their client is. So they might be sitting on Facebook throwing out post after post after post, but all their clients on Instagram. Yeah. So, and they've never even thought about where their clients come from to make sure that they're focusing their marketing not only in the right venue, in the right place, but also the right content and stuff for that client to then be attracted back to consider buying from them as well. It's a really important part of it all.
Massive. It is, and it is the basis of any organisation after the USP, to what is the pains and gains for your ideal client, but knowing who they are, what they're doing right now, what they're looking for, what's the issues, what's the frustrations, and how can you make it better for them, no matter what business you are. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, I love to hear that. That is a real passion of mine, and I love to hear that that you're actually focusing on the client rather than the business, because that's the game changer that happens, and that's why the business is increased so dramatically. That's great. So, what have you worked with any hospitality businesses in the past or currently?
That's a question now. I've got restaurants. I have got a few restaurants. I've got the Viceroy, which is the Indian in Carlisle, which a lot of people know about. Mezzaluna, the Italian on the Crescent. The food ones, I'm always conscious of the fact that people shop with their eyes for food. So photography is absolutely critical to get that right. And it's still quite a hard push for people to consider actually a professional photographer. And I do get a lot of them who, not just hospitality, but a lot of people who still take their own photos, which can be quite good. Some people nowadays with a mobile phone can do really good pictures. But I think food photography, in fact, anywhere where the visual is important to the customer, photography is really, really key. So for things like the Viceroy, for their food, there's a lot of photos on there. Certainly for food venues, I always like the menu to be readable as a website page. So although the Viceroy's menu is massive, you can read it online. There's no download, there's no PDF link. It's literally there to look at. The PDF is there if you want to read it offline and maybe have a pre-ordering or something with all your staff at work or whatever. But the actual menus, I'm a strong believer in it. There needs to be a web page with it on, because people want to look at it before they go. I know from family, but loads of people, my father-in-law loves to look at the menu and pick what he's going to have before he's even been. So there's the two elements of that one. The other side, I've got quite a few either holiday cottage let places or glamping pod venues as well. And again, imagery is important for those ones, but there's also a lot of stuff within the copywriting side as well, to describe them well and put them in the right way for people to read it, and actually be, again, pictures are one part of it, but the words are another part as well. And from the SEO side of it as well, certainly there are so many places now that do holiday lets and accommodation, and the competition in the market is huge. The copywriting SEO is again critical to get you found through normal search patterns for the people that are looking for you with the words they're actually looking for as well. That's the other element of customers sometimes perhaps think they know people are looking for. Oh yeah, they're all looking for this search term, and actually you go and research it and you go, no, they're not. They're not looking for that. We need to be targeting these ones properly. So it's I guess it's a full picture of the website design, the aesthetic, the words that are there, getting you found by the people that need to find you, and building on that really is the basis.
Yeah, no, that you're right, and those are critical things. That if you don't communicate to your customers, and you don't say the right language, and you don't, and you're right on the SEO as well. If you do not answer the right question, it's crazy. And I know a lot of hospitality businesses still speak in hospitality speak. The customers don't. Yeah, the customers don't. They don't have a clue what they're talking about, so they'll never get found. But then they're wondering why they're not in the top page.
Yeah, in simple terms, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So, as of all my Showcase Sunday interviewees, I always ask for the 5 top tips, which is always amazing, and I love to hear them. What are your 5 top tips, Chris?
I would go back to the comment there about thinking of your client first as well. So don't approach your website as yourself. Don't think of it as something that is going to be written so that when you read it, you think it's brilliant, because that's the wrong approach to do it. You're not your customer. Don't ask the opinion of your friends and family of anything you're going to do unless they are also your ideal customer, because they will give you their opinion, which will not actually fit with what you need to be doing. In terms of your website, I would make sure you've considered, when they land on your site, they need to read really quickly what you do, and then also why that's beneficial to them. Don't just repeat your logo in the middle of the page as a big picture, because that doesn't mean anything to anybody. They've seen it already. It's there. They're on your website. Give them some social proof. Whether you're a hospitality business, you've got reviews of people that have stayed with you, eaten your food. Put them on your homepage. Make sure that people can see you're not just making it up yourself. And don't let your customers shout for yourself is the way to do it on that one. How many is that for? Trying to count this out. I've got loads probably, to be fair.
You're very welcome to do more.
I think the last one I'll come back to again is really think about the photography, because it makes or breaks a website to be given really good professional photography versus mediocre home shot stuff. Your business is out there to show itself off, and photography is a big part of that. Even generally doesn't matter what business you're in, the imagery is really important. So budget for that. Don't think it's something you can pop in and do yourself in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's interesting because I know, having been in the hospitality industry for over 30 years prior to starting AJ Lakes, I've always been big on making memorable experiences. And that's what we're all about in hospitality. We are creating amazing, memorable experiences wherever you go, whatever you do. And if you can recreate that on a website or on your social media channels by telling a story, by helping your customers and your guests to actually experience an element, a taster before they actually arrive at your venue, your call to action is going to be so hot. It drives it, doesn't it? And I think that's the key. And your call to action has to be really clear, because I've got to say, the amount of businesses that you have to look for the call to action, you know, to book a room or to book a table or to even make a phone call or send, you know, an email.
Yeah.
It can be dramatic on a website, and
You get none or you get too many. You either get nothing at all, or you
oh,
get 50 and you don't know which one to click because they're all over the place. Pick one, maximum of two, I would suspect is going too far beyond
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, that's brilliant. That's a really good point. That, yeah, because I forgot about if you put all of them on, it's like, which one do you pick?
You've got a visual hierarchy, you've got to follow it, and you've got to guide the person who's reading to what you want them to do. You know, and that's not just text, that's literally the layout, the size of all the bits on the page. To get them to that CTA as well is quite a key one.
I love that visual hierarchy. I love that. Fantastic. So you've got examples how you've helped the hospitality industry, but what, you know, what helps them save time, save money, save, you know, how do you add value? Because I'm guessing, you know, when you've just mentioned earlier some case studies where you have actually got people who've increased their businesses dramatically after you've done a website. What other things do you add value to?
I would always come back to time. And I think a lot of people that, again, have maybe thought of building the website themselves or maybe valuing what they're going to pay for by price rather than actually the results that they're going to get, is that I'm here to save you the time of doing all that. We don't just run off and leave you behind. So any of our websites have got at least a year support with them, and that is renewable on a yearly basis, that we literally will do everything for you. Unless you've got a shop on there or a blog where, generally speaking, it'll be your task to manage that shop or that feature. We do the updates as part of the price. We don't have an hourly rate. We don't charge extra for doing, unless you come back and say, can I have 50 new pages, in which case maybe we'd have to look at a price. But you know, we're here to save you the time of, one, having to understand how to do it, two, doing it, and then three, keeping doing it. You know, you should be out there running your pub or your hotel or whatever it is yourself and being there, not spending 3 hours a day on your website trying to make it work better and not maybe getting it as well as you could do. And that's an important part of it all.
That's massive, because, you know, a lot of our management teams, you know, they're busy firefighting right now, and so is the rest of the team, to be fair. All the staff and management and everybody in the industry are busy doing what they do, and it'll probably take you 5 minutes to do something on the website, whereas it'll probably take them 5 hours, because
that was a big part of last year. I think even to this year has been COVID notices. You know,
yeah.
Oh, could you change a notice? Could you put this button on? We need to tell people the rules have changed. You know, and them to be able to do that themselves, it's just done and there for them.
You're so right. I mean, the changes last year was literally every other day and every week, and it's crazy.
Yeah. It was madness for that.
Yeah. My FAQ Fridays were changing by the second.
Surprised. Yeah, it was a big one.
Fantastic. Yeah. You forget that. Yeah, that means the COVID notices on the website and everything else that goes with it.
It's all that type of stuff.
So if someone sat here and they're thinking, do you know what, Chris, that sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm, you know, needing more time. I'm not doing very well on the website. I don't know what's going on with it. I've had it for a while, or I'm looking to get a new website, or I'm looking to upgrade it, whatever they may be. What would you or your clients, past and present, say to them to say, come on over the fence, because it's time to actually connect and join Lightbulb Web Design?
My website's got all my testimonials on if they want to go and have a nosy. The words tend to be more about like the ethics and the value and our approach, and like the timely, efficient, friendly, prompt. I think we've built ourselves on transparency as well. So if you come and ask us for something and we think it's not going to work, I'll tell you about it. I'm not going to do it just because you want me to. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to challenge and be challenged as well. So, you know, if you want somebody that's going to do what you tell them, I'm not the one to work with. If you want somebody that's going to sit down and actually go, no, this is what we need to do, that's where I come from. I'm not here to just do what you want me to do. I'm here to deliver what we think is the right, or believe is the right solution. And that's what we do. And if you want any evidence of that, testimonies are there. I have got plenty of graphs and statistics in terms of how many visitors people get to their websites, and clients who are literally fully booked in their glamping pods because they can't keep up with the booking inquiries. So when the process works for you, it or is followed, it works.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's a cracking testimonial. So you are results focused, which it's what I do. I'm a big results focused coach, consultant, coach, and trainer. And I think when you've got that, you can actually clarify what you've done for that customer in abundance.
I mean, the shine method we've got with the 5 steps, we don't have to follow all 5. I prefer to, because then we kind of got a bit more awareness of what we're going to get from it in terms of those results. But sometimes a client just wants a website that looks brilliant, speaks to their client. They don't care on whether they're going to get more traffic to it because their marketing doesn't involve that side. But it's definitely there, and as the full 5-step, it's a great bit of kit. It does what it says on the tin, basically.
Brilliant. Now I can feel the hospitality industry going, gosh, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Is it going to cost me 20,000-30,000 to do that? Or obviously you can't say what prices they are, but in a benchmark figure, is it a lot?
Again, it depends entirely upon what's involved. So if you come to me with the content already, which I can work with, if you get in before I change my website again in early next year, I'm starting from 1750 plus VAT. The copywriting and the SEO does add to that reasonably, and it can be the same again or more. It just depends on what's involved when we look at things to get you what you need out of that. So I would say anywhere, if you would go for literally the whole works, from branding through to SEO and ads and marketing, it could be anywhere between 5,000 and 15,000. It just depends on, what's involved. It might be less than that for your business. It's difficult to kind of give an accurate price without knowing the full details. But
it's like a piece of string.
There's anywhere in between as well, and sometimes it can be phased as well. So you might say, well, we'll do this bit now, we'll come back in 6 months and do that bit. There are elements that always work done in the beginning, but there are things that we can do afterwards as well that can add to the mix later on.
When they've got a budget, for example.
Or, not everyone's got the upfront amount, but they can do this bit now, come back in 6 months and say, right, phase 2, and phase it through, which we've done for a lot of people over the years as well.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So what is the best way to get in touch with you? Obviously, we'll put all your details at the end of the film. But what is your best way of getting in touch with you? Because like you said earlier, your call to action, you only want 1 or 2. You don't want 15, for example.
Absolutely.
But what's the ideal of way of getting in touch with you?
Email or phone's the best one. Those 2 are the best to get me on.
Yep. Brilliant. And do they need to tell you what the business is and things like that, and what they're looking for, or would you talk to them on a 20
There's always, I wouldn't expect a 10-page email to describe it all in the beginning. Although I do get the occasional, literally a full brief PDF with 50 pages, which is also good to get as well. No, I would just touch base, and we'll do an initial call out and just have a chat through things in person or over video, whatever fits in. That way it is. I know that I've got questions I always ask to kind of get in, so it means I can do that and follow it through.
Brilliant. And you can help with things like photography and who to get and roughly what different elements they need. For example, if they've no idea, because they're busy operators, and they've no idea how to bring that forward, could you help them and support them to get the right people who could take the photography, the video footage, so that you can build the content ready for the website?
Absolutely. Definitely got quite a lot of people in different places who've got different skills, whether it's food photography, product, personal, whatever type. It's different people for different ones.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Chris. That's been very enlightening. It's a lot of information, lots of content, obviously. and anybody who wants to go and have a look at the testimonials as well as all the packages and everything that Chris offers, certainly check out his website. But thank you very much for coming on our Showcase Sunday this week. That's great. Thank you very much. And may I wish you all a great Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.